Picture it. Garfield, New Jersey, 2024. Anyway, listen. Anybody who knows me well enough knows that the Golden Girls are a huge part of my life, and I wanted to talk to you about it a little bit. So, I made a little playlist of just this song. So, just letting you know that that's what you're going to hear for the majority of this talkback, okay? I could do a comprehensive episode by episode, frame by frame wrap up of each show, and who knows, maybe one day that'll happen. Let's hope this channel has several seasons, and that would be a fun thing to do, frankly. But for now, I just want to give a little appreciation shout out to Dorothy and Blanche and Rose and Sophia and Coco, who I wore this shirt for, the legendary lost Golden Girl. You know, to me, it brings me right back to my childhood. I grew up in the 80s, and my grandmother used to throw a card night for our family at our house on Saturday nights. But before that we watched Golden Girls. 227 and Amen as well. That was like her jam. These are like, but the Golden Girls was like she absolutely adored them, you know. Frankly, at the time, they were almost contemporaries of hers, you know, too, which I thought was very interesting. She even one time cut her hair real short in the back and teased it up in the front, a la Blanche. That's exactly where she got that reference from, by the way. So, you know, I don't want to give you like a history of the show, but I just want to say that the actors in the show are some of the best actors that will ever be on television ever, but there's something about them in these roles that just fits so perfectly. Bea Arthur is a legend for many reasons, but, you know, this role really was tailor-made for her. Susan Harris said that she wanted a Bea Arthur type. Well, she got Bea Arthur. So it's if you want the type, you get the actual person, which is good. There's that great Elaine Stritch story where she talks about auditioning for it, but getting like drunk beforehand pretty much, or just having too much in her, and sort of offending Susan Harris by adding to her dialogue, adding swears to her dialogue. It's a crazy story. But Elaine Stritch, in her one-woman show, sort of blames her drinking for this costing her this bazillion-dollar job. But to our benefit, Bea Arthur actually got to play it because Susan Harris wanted her, you know? I think they even probably only looked for Elaine Stritch because initially Bea Arthur said no, you know? Because at the time they had... I'll tell the story in case you don't know it. I mean, it's a cute story how it all came together. But Bea Arthur and Rue McClanahan had already been on Maude together. Maude is a great TV show on itself, but they played sort of neighbors and friends on that show. And Bea Arthur said, I don't want to do Maude and Vivian meet Sue Ann Nivens, who was the character that Betty White played on the Mary Tyler Moore show, but sort of Rue convinced her they're not doing it that way. They're sort of reversing things around. And, you know, it got Bea to thinking maybe this is a good idea. And then she read the script, and it's like the best pilot like ever written. So it makes sense that she'd want to do it. So the rest is history, pretty much. They sort of just did it at that point. And Dorothy is forever linked with Bea Arthur, thank God. Estelle Getty, I love Estelle Getty's story because she had played Harvey Firestone's mom in Torch Song Trilogy, off-Broadway and then on Broadway as well. And I think somebody saw her in that, and that's what made her want to play the role. I guess, okay, I don't want to be naive. I know why Dorothy and Sophia are not Jewish characters, but they should have been. So in a different world, you know, where I guess it may have been less accepted then, which makes no sense to me, but I just think the actors would have played it better. It would just been a more natural approach. This is all something that Estelle Getty has talked about as well, so I'm not making this up. She said that she could really relate better to that. But anyway, she did great. Tell me she's not the quintessential Italian grandmother. I used to say my own grandmother was a mix of Blanche and Sophia. because she looked like Sophia, but she had more of the sexy, funny, I don't want to say slutty attitude as Blanche, which is kind of funny, So yeah, getting back to the card nights my grandma would throw on Saturday nights, we'd watch Golden Girls beforehand. So Golden Girls always made me think of sitting on my grandma's couch and hearing her laugh at jokes that were way over my head, which to me is like kind of like the absolute funniest thing to look back and be like, oh, that's what that joke meant, So I think it's on Hulu now, and I don't know where else you could find it, but it really holds up. Some of the jokes are a little dated, I guess, but most of the time everything holds up. Some of the writing is so brilliant. It's just Mark Cherry wrote later on in the years and was a part of the show running. He eventually did Desperate Housewives, which I really was a fan of as well. So his stuff, and it's funny, there's a character in Desperate Housewives named Cindy Lou Peoples who is named after somebody he knows in real life, but that's also who Dorothy played in the Golden Girls episode where they crash the reunion, which is hilarious. Speaking of Golden Girls episodes and guides and stuff, Jim Colucci wrote an amazing book about the Golden Girls, which I can't find. I had to have lent it to somebody at work because I've been scouring my house for it all day. I'm like, where is that book? It's got to be at the office. But it's what I consider the Golden Girls Bible. So look up Jim Colucci and look up the Golden Girls book, and his book is the definitive book on the Golden Girls. It is so well done. It's so beautiful too, very colorful. And while it doesn't go over every single episode, it goes over a lot of episodes. And you learn a lot of backstage stuff too. But that's definitely the way to go about it is getting that book if you want sort of like a play-by-play of the show. See, I don't want to make this too crazy and too long, but it's very special to me because not only does it remind me of my childhood, but it's something I could still watch now that's so entertaining on its own. They're so funny. They're so hilarious. Women of a certain age acting a certain way is not something you see all the time. And as somebody, I'm in my 40s. Not for nothing, they're supposed to be in their, well, Blanche says she's in her 40s at one point. I don't think so, though. She's in her 50s at that point, maybe even 60. Who knows? But I have friends who are, age makes no difference. It's your mindset. One of my closest friends is like in his 70s, and he's one of the most vibrant people I know on the planet. Yeah, age is just a number. My dad is 70, going to be 70. My dad's, thank God, very vibrant, very like alive, and he's living his life. My dad's got a girlfriend, God bless, I don't know if I should be saying this in public. He's a private guy, who cares, whatever, I'm happy for him. But, you know what I'm saying, like, doesn't mean after a certain age you just give up living, and the Golden Girls is a really good example of that. I mean, even Sophia's like supposed to be in her 80s, and she has boyfriends all along the way, which is so adorable and so fabulous. That adorable episode with the man on the bench, that breaks your heart, spoiler alert, he eventually winds up having Alzheimer's, but you could tell there's a little love connection going on between them. They're cute, they're flirting with each other. And Sophia with the little gardener, the Japanese gardener, when she's like, even though you like to listen to a piano being tuned, which is just hilarious. Inappropriate now line, but for them. Hey, by the way, if you're offended easily, don't watch the Golden Girls, because it's like they really went over the edge. They were also very queer positive. Blanche's brother, that whole storyline, so ahead of its time. Okay, they deal with queer marriage, it's way ahead of its time. Dorothy's college friend coming back, being in love with Rose. That whole storyline is way ahead of its time. So many of these like storylines that are just okay. There's that great speech that Sophia gives about gay marriage to Dorothy about. In other words, or no, I'm sorry, she gives it to Blanche about like love and like all it is about love. And I mean, I don't know off the top of my head, but in other words, they're way ahead of their time, which probably has a lot to do with the actresses or the actors in the show being queer positive in their real lives. A lot of them being stage actors and There's that great. This is hilarious. 85 people singing the same song. There's that great video of Dorothy on YouTube. Dorothy. B. Arthur on YouTube talking about why she likes gay people. And although she equates us to like hairdressers and florists, which is great, we're great in every profession. But she also says that we have, like, in other words, we have better taste than most people. And I love that. I think that's just brilliant. Gay exceptionalism, I'm here for it. So it's an interesting thing to watch these shows now, especially as an adult too, because you realize sadly they're not with us anymore. That makes me a little sad on a personal level, but also super happy that their legacy is forever there. You know, as long as we can watch shows, we can watch the Golden Girls, which is amazing. It's like our version of what we grew up with I Love Lucy and all that, like sort of like golden age of television situation, which I find that I love that. That's ours, you know. Something about it while it was happening though made me think that it was like gonna be that way because it was just really that good in real time. But then as the reruns became a thing, you just knew it. You knew it was going to be around forever, and you were like thankful for it. Those of us who bought like those stupid DVD sets who don't even have DVD players anymore, that's hilarious too. Shout out to all those people. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up just by saying that The Golden Girls is not only one of the greatest shows ever, it's one of the most endearing and special ones to me personally. Will always remind me of my Grams. My family, my friends, of course, we're all fans. We could all easily reference Golden Girls so easily. And I love that it's like shorthand. You know, if we mention something, you know, you could use Golden Girls as a very easy shorthand. So thank you for being a friend in general. Thanks for watching my channel and subscribe and like everything. So take care.